thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the project we're making today, and this is week number 2 of the 12 weeks of Halloween. It's a cute little box that will hold a K-cup. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge coffee drinker, so that's what this little container or this little box will hold. The supplies you're going to need is a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 6 by 8.5. We've got very vanilla for this circle right here, which is 1 5/8. Pumpkin pie, both of these measure 2 by 3, and the pumpkin pie is for this circle we're going to cut out with the stitch shaped framelits. And then we've got 5 pieces of the Designer Series paper, Spooky Nights, and it measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then we have a little witch's hat that we're going to cut out of the Designer Series paper. So let me show you that full sheet. This is the sheet. Lots and lots of hats. So you can make a whole bunch of these out of one piece of the Designer Series paper. Okay, let me get out the Simply Scored scoring tool and we'll start making the box. Don't forget, head over to my website, leave a comment to enter to win. We have the kit made for someone to make this box. We've already scored the box. We've cut out the hat and it has the rhinestones and your circle. The only thing you have to do is assemble your box, decorate it, and stamp your image and cut it out. Okay, so on the 8.5 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch, 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. Then on the portrait side, which is the 6 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1.5, 3.5, and 5.5. So now what we want to do is fold on the score lines. And I do have a template and the instruction sheet, the PDF, that's posted free on my website. We'll have the diagram on there for you to cut the box. Here's my one that I'm going to look at for now. Okay, so what you want to do, this is the top. If you'll see this little square right there. So that's your top left corner. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up to the score line on each of these down here at the bottom. Okay. Now this is the bottom of our box, so I'm going to cut this little piece off, and that is trash. Now I'm going to come up here to the top of the box and I'm going to cut from the top all the way down to that score line on every one of these. I'm going to go back down here to this skinny one right here. I'm going to remove this whole section. That's trash as well. Okay. So now this is the top of the box. This is the bottom of the box. We don't want to do anything to this piece right here. We want to round the corners because this is the top or the lid of our box. I'm going to use the Retired Project Life corner punch. Any corner punch you have will work, and if you don't have one, the envelope punch board has a corner punch right here. Okay, so if you have that, you can use that. That is a current product. Okay, so we have made sure that that piece is not going to get cut. We're going to move over to the next one, and if you'll see, this one right here, we're going to cut that one in half. So I'm going to make sure the rest of these are folded out of the way, and I'm just going to take my scissors and cut straight across. That's trash. The next one we're going to cut all the way down to that score line, so we're just going to remove it completely. That's trash. And the next one we're going to cut in half. And again, like I said, the PDF on my website, the free instruction sheet, will have the drawing of this, so you shouldn't have any trouble. So now we're ready to assemble our box. We want to put adhesive on this piece right here because that's going to fold over, just like that. And then we're going to put adhesive on this piece because this is the front of our box. Okay? I'm using tear and tape. I agree with you guys. I had several people say, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's time for the 12 weeks of Halloween. You know, I actually was a week late getting started as well, so I'm with all of you. It happened quickly, but then I love this time of year, so I am not complaining. I was ready. I always say I'm like a fish out of water when there's not a holiday to make projects for. Okay, and then now I'm going to put tear and tape. Like I said, this is the front of my box because you can see how it's going just like that. And I will tell you, see how this is? I'm going to give it a slight trim, because you know how sometimes when we make boxes and they don't assemble exactly right. I'm just going to do this side too. Just a little teeny tiny bit, not a lot. Okay, see? We might trim it a little bit more in a minute. So I'm going to put my tear and tape on this piece. Like I said, that's the front of the box. And if you're not a coffee drinker or you don't want to give coffee, all sorts of little candy things will also fit in there. Okay, come on. Just like that. Okay. See how this fits? If it doesn't slide in there easily, you might want to trim those little side panels again. I'm just going to get my snail. Okay. I just want to make sure that my pumpkins are upright when I add them. That's a cute one. You can also cut out the pumpkins, so I think you guys are going to absolutely love this pack of paper. Again, it goes live on September 1st, and if you're a customer of mine and you've ordered $50 in the last, I can't remember, I think it's 6 months, I paid Stampin' Up! To send the catalog to you, so you should be receiving it soon. Okay, I'm going to take the 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to cut less than a half of a circle, about a third. See? This identifies that this is the front of the box, okay? And that's so cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, now let's make the rest of our project here. I'm going to cut out the little witch's hat with my scissors, and we call this fussy cutting because there isn't any special fancy tools to cut it out. You just gotta cut it with your scissors. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's Halloween, so of course I say that on every project. It's handmade, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, right? Okay, there's the hat. Set that aside. And the stamp set that we're using is Mary Cafe. This image right here. I love this stamp set. I think you guys are going to love it as well. And we are using it with Memento ink on the Very Vanilla cardstock. I just want to make sure that my image has enough ink on it. I've said in my other video that I needed to apply some re-inker to it. Okay, we're going to be cutting out the greeting with this circle here, which is the 1 5/8, And then we're cutting out the pumpkin pie with the stitch shaped framelit. So we're using layer and circles and stitch shapes. And I'm going to get my Big Shot and we'll cut those out real quick. Okay, so here's the Big Shot, magnetic platform and a cutting pad. We'll start with the pumpkin pie stitch shaped circle. It is the next size up from the smallest. So there's 4 circles. It's the next size up from the smallest. And whoever gets the kit, we've already cut that out for you. And then now we'll cut out the greeting here. And we're just going to center it. Okay, let's get all of our pieces back in here. Now what we want to do is take the pumpkin pie marker and we're going to color the witch's brew. And hopefully, you know what? I already went out of the line, but this is just my sample. For me to see this, I'd have to stick my head in the camera. And you don't want that today. So I'm just doing this quick and dirty. Okay, not too bad. Only went out on the W. So this one's going to get attached with dimensionals. This one's going to get attached with glue dots. Just one. This is going to go on top of the box with a dimensional. And then we're going to add the black rhinestones. Okay, we might need to use another, and that looks like I used Tangerine Tango. I think I did. I think I pulled the wrong color. This is Tangerine Tango, so just ignore that. And where's my piercer? Let's add these. I don't know how that happened. I need to check the kit too, whoever gets the kit. I'm pretty sure there's pumpkin pie in that one. There is. Oh well. I'll correct it before I take the picture. Okay, so there you have it. Just ignore the Tangerine Tango. Don't forget, head over to my website, leave a comment to enter to win the kit. Have a great day. Bye.